And then if you are raising a major, it goes to what?
Augmented.
Yes, augmented. If you are lowering a major, interval goes to what? Goes to a minor. If you're lowering a minor, it goes
Diminished.
to diminished. Yes, that's correct. Now, perfect. If you are raising a perfect interval, where does it go to? Directly, yes.
Yes, directly.
Doesn't go to major. If you're lowering a perfect interval, goes to minor, then diminished. Minor and then diminished. So it goes to small m and then small d. Okay, so these are the permutations that you can get, or the options of intervals. Okay, you can get a diminished, minor, perfect, augmented, or major. I'm writing small letters so that you can answer the trial tests. Yes, sir.
Does this apply only on fifths or with thirds as well?
On all intervals, any interval.
So we can have a perfect third.
No, no. So I feel like you phrased the question wrong. The perfect intervals will only apply 1, 2, 3, 4. Only these ones. They won't apply to these ones. That's why I separated it like this. You see. So for perfect intervals. Any questions? So it's clear on the board. Now, the other thing that is very important that you might miss is if you have an interval that exceeds an eighth, what do you do? For example, you have an F, right? Your octave F is here, but then you get an interval above the octave over there. This is F and this is A. You can either say, so this F, 8, 9, 10, you can either say it's something 10th, okay, or you can drop the top one down, right, and then you calculate the distance there, which will be a third. But in answering this, you must add that it's compound third. This is the quantity, not the quality yet. So if you have if you have an interval that exceeds an octave, okay, you can either state the quantity as is. F is A, it's a tenth. Then you calculate the quality. Or you can drop this one there and say compound. This means you dropped it down and it's a third after being dropped down. Then when you hear, you find out the quality. The second method helps because these numbers, you will see them here. There's the third. The first method, it's not really going to help. You have to find it in your head because you're going to get numbers that are above this 8 here. So to be safe, go with this method where you drop it down, but you just indicate that you are aware that it's a compound, that it's above an octave by saying compound. If you're going for this method, it's difficult to quantify the quality or to state the quality because the numbers exceed the octave. So if you're using this method, it's better to say compound for when an interval is higher than an octave. Who's confused? Okay, so we're all on the same page. Okay, cool. So now let's do some examples. Maybe we can use these ones. Okay, I'm going to use these ones that are here on the page I gave you. So these ones. Okay. Okay, so the first one they tell you it's a major seventh. So I'm not going to do that one. Second one.
major third.
Treble clef. D. And you have F sharp. So remember, all of this is we're just trying to master all the basics now. We're just mastering all the basics. After you submit the next worksheet, then we're gonna go into 4-part harmony, practicing that all the time. And also analysis of scores. Right now, I'm just trying to get you guys to understand where you can get all the marks, the small things, key signatures, time signatures, grouping, all the small topics, intervals, etc. Note names and stuff like that. That's where all the marks are. Like 60 to 70% are there. The only thing that's scary about 4-part harmony is you can only fail the test if you fail it and having not mastered the basics, if that makes sense. So all the basics are about 60-70%. If you don't have that and you get to 4-part harmony and you struggle there, it's going to be difficult to up your mark. But if you struggle with 4-part harmony and you've mastered the basics, then you're not going to struggle. You're going to pass just by the basics, if that makes sense. Okay, anyway. Right. D and you have F sharp. Step 1. The note below will give you your key. Okay. The note below will give you a key. What key are we on?
D major.
D major. Okay. In D major, step 2, you check your key signature, your table. So step 1, bottom note tells you the key. Step 2, you're not gonna remember these rules, trust me. So it's better, if I can advise you, please write it down. But if you find you can chill, you will forget the rules. Anyway, so first note, step 1. Step 2, you check the table and accidentals in D major. How many does it have?
2.
Can we have someone else maybe? Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Yes, sir.
2.
There's 2, nah?
Yeah.
Alright, which ones?
F and C.
Thank you. So it has F sharp
And C
and
sharp.
C sharp. Right. Good. Now, you have here D and you have F sharp. Right? You know that in your table, you should have these 2 in D major. Now your third is F sharp. You ask yourself, does it belong to the key of D?
Yes.
Yes. So they haven't altered anything. It belongs to the key. Okay, right. Now, the other thing is, find the quantity of this. This is actually step 1, is find the quantity. The quantity from here to here is what? What is the distance?
Third.
It's a third, yes. So now you know you're working from this. Now from this third, you know that you're working with these guys only, these options. So the quantity tells you you are either here or you're there. That's the only thing the quantity tells you. So now you know the quantity, then you find out the quality. This F sharp belongs in D major. So then you've not changed anything or affected anything. Then the default, if you haven't done anything, is major. So the answer would be major
Major third.
third. M3.
Yes.
Okay. Next one. I want to choose a difficult one. Okay, so here you have B, you have A sharp. Okay, then you have this is F sharp, this is C sharp. Okay. Step 1. The bottom note and the key. This is what?
B
B.
major.
B major. So you're in B major. Okay. B major has how many accidentals?
5.
5. Okay. Father Charles goes down and. Okay, so 5. Now, in this case, you have this key signature with 2. But here you have B and A sharp. So, if we have 2 sharps here, what is it indicative of in terms of keys? D major, yes, right? So here, this tells you D major, right? Question for you, should you take this into account if you're answering this question?
No.
No. Is there a relationship between B major, D major, sorry, and B?
In the shops again. F is
No, yes, no.
No.
No. What is the relative minor of D major?
D.
Relative minor of D major. It's B minor. See, now you're like, there's something here. I'm going to ask you again now. Does this key signature affect your interval?
No.
Someone says no. Okay, let's do a vote. Should you take the question is, should you take the key signature into account when answering this question? Who says yes? Okay, Donnell says yes. Again, I'm going to ask this. If you're answering this question, should you take the key signature into account? Donnell says yes. Who else? Okay. Is it Junior, no?
Yes.
Mr. Junior says yes. So that means the class says no.
Why would you? So why would you look at the key to just count
Yeah, to the
Why
intervals.
does the key affect the interval?
Mm,
Don't affect the intervals.
Good question.
Because it's from note to note.
Because of the rule says the protocol comes.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. So that was a trick question, Junior and Donnell.
But also,
Yes. Yes.
what's it called? The sharpened note. It's also like in B minor, so it's
Ray
it's a
7.
grade 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I agree with you. But now, the question is, does the key signature have an influence on the interval?
No.
So the answer is no.
Yes.
Only if these sharps and flats affect your notes.
Yes.
If there was a sharp on the B here, then it affects the notes that you have.
Yes.
But do not let your key signature affect this.
Yes.
It's not related.
Mm.
Okay, so it's a good question. This. Anyway, so you're in B major, there's 5 sharps. Father Charles goes down and. So your A is sharpened in B major. So, okay, I'm speeding here now. There's 5 sharps. Of those 5 sharps, is A sharpened?
Yes.
Yes. So that means this is as is.
Yes.
They've sharpened the A for you. So now the quantity here is 7. There's 7. You know that you're working with this. And it is unchanged because the sharp belongs to B major. So your answer will be major 7, yes. Major 7. Okay, these are easy. Let's twist it up. Yes. Yes.
ngizasekhulunywa ngokubhila
Mm.
okokuqala asiqale sibheke ukuthi since siku-D major ne
sizobheka ama-notes esinikezwe wona then sizobala i-distance u-7 and then i-notes leli lapha phezulu angisho u-A asenze le nto ukuthi sibheke ukuthi u-A ukhona yini ey'nganeni zika-D
Remember, siko kuti.
or siku-B.
That was the confusion because asiko kuti. That's just a key signature, D major.
Okay.
But it has nothing to do with our note here.
Oh,
So that's why I was showing you guys that this does not influence up.
always.
Always, yes, always.
Oh.
Always look at the note below. That is your key.
Shuthi lama intervals awafani nalawa last year.
I don't know what happened last year. Last year you were only asked the quantity. That's it. If I'm not mistaken.
The quality side.
Did you do the quantity?
In the same
Oh, okay.
The same
So I don't know what happened last year. But the bottom note will tell you your key. Don't let this affect you. Only if it affects a note. So if there was a B sharp here in the key signature, but a equal up, then know that this is B sharp because of the key signature. But since there's no B sharp here, just know this is your key. Yeah. All right. Let's do one more. That's difficult. So nothing is due today. I feel like something is due today.
Nothing is true. Say.
Come on, nothing.
Nothing is true.
How was it?
Very strange.
Nothing is true.
Equal.
So this is major torque weighted. Treble clef. Let's right. Let's try that one. Okay, you can think it through, you can do your notes, etc. Then we can discuss. Okay. Quantity is the second because 1, 2. So you know you are in this row, yeah. You're working with this. Then you know your bottom note is your key. Whoever said third, I'm sorry. Your key is what? C flat major.
C flat major.
Right, which has how many flats?
7.
All of them are flat.
Yes.
Everything is flat.
Yes.
Okay, so you should
Sounds
technically
beautiful.
have here a
Okay.
D flat,
Yes.
but you don't.
Yes.
Instead, you have a D natural.
Natural.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you had a D flat, it would be
A major.
a major second.
Yes.
But it's not. Has it gone up or down? Up, because D flat is this, but now it's natural.
Augmented.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then the answer is
Augmented.
augmented
Mm.
second.
So I understand. Augmented.
So default, what belongs to C flat major,
Yes, exactly.
D flat.
Yes.
This is supposed to be D flat.
Oh.
You get it now. Now it's
Okay.
you've removed the flat.
Une-flat kuzoba i-major section.
Yes.
Exactly. But now since there's no flat, from a flat to a natural, you're going up. So that's why you landed with augmented. Yes, sir.
I understand.
I see.
Okay, then I will explain why I said it's a minor third. Because number one, C flat to D, right? So C flat is A, isn't it? So in the key of E minor,
Yes.
E to D
Yes.
is minor third. So that's why I said it's a minor third.
There was a big word that I showed the class. What was it? So, someone else brought the same thing, but I taught the class a word, but I'll remind you perhaps. enharmonic equivalence. Okay, so practically speaking, yes, and harmonically, yes, but theoretically, no. Okay, so yes, you can do that in jazz, MJTV. Yes, go for it, do that. But in theory, you have to be theoretical. Although you're saying C flat is B natural, and from B natural to D, it's a minor third. Yes, you find, but that's enharmonically speaking. But here we're doing theoretically speaking. Professionals here, we're sophisticated. Okay, right, thoughts? Anyone? So this is the type of stuff that I will ask you to just keep the brain going. One more, because I remembered something. So let's say,
Oh, wanyanga careful. Mfo. Akhona atekhona izolosha. Namhlanje akhona futhi manje. Uyazi ukuthi kuna-NSFAS? Lu-16 rand. Ngikubheka. Malikhona. Awufake chicken ayindlela chicken. What I think is people is like Amazon. So cabangas. Anginamali yokuphuza like ngizwe. So we Friday we hold abantu.
okay. So they ask you this one.
Conversation.
You have E flat, and then you have C double flat. So in future, if you see two flats like this, it's called a double flat. Okay, let's try that one. Guys, it's you that's writing the paper. You're not gonna say, it's this one. It's minor, it's major, it's finished. Yes.
Can you refer to its enharmonic equivalent to answer the question?
Sorry?
Can you refer to its enharmonic equivalent to answer the question?
No. It's simple. Just find the interval. Don't complicate things now. Yes. Diminished fifth. Okay. Anyone else? Just follow the steps. Trust me, you're not gonna go wrong with steps. Follow the steps.
Diminution of 6. Diminution of 6.
Follow the step. Follow the steps. You're not gonna go wrong if you follow the steps. Trust me.
And I use sounding clear. Loud and clear.
Now let's continue. In E flat major, if I don't have these flats, it would be C. Do I have C in the key of E flat major?
No.
We
Yes.
do have it, but it's a natural.
Yes.
So the question is, I'm gonna start again.
Okay.
If I remove these two flats and I have C,
Yes.
does C exist in E flat major as is?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Now they have influenced the C. So if it was C, it would be here.
Yes.
We agree on that.
Yes.
Now they've dropped it once, it goes here.
Yes.
They've dropped it again, it goes there. So then your final answer, diminished 6. Follow the steps. Trust me, you will not be wrong if you do the steps. Okay. Got it now.
Yeah, wait, so would it be wrong if you wrote perfect fit?
If it's anything other than this, it's wrong.
Okay.
You only have one chance with intervals. There's no other option, unfortunately. Last one before we go. We have here A and C
Double sharp.
double sharp.
We have what?
So let's try that. So if you see an X, it means double sharp.
So we have what? Oh no.
Sorry,
And C.
you're sharpening twice. It would be a distance of a third. Then let's go here. There's my third. And you know you're working with these guys. Step 1 done. Step 2. The bottom note is your key. In A major, okay, you have goes down and you have 3 sharps. Father Charles goes. So C should be sharpened
Yes.
for it to be major.
Major.
So natural by default, it should be C sharp.
But it doubled there.
But now seeing that there's a double,
Raised again.
it means it's been sharpened twice. Hence, compound augmented third.
Say can be like that.
Okay. Right. No questions.
No.
Yes, you're also right. Sorry. Yes, you're also right. Sorry.
Sibambile.
No other questions. Yes.
Sibambile.
So please, if I can please ask you, homework, please complete this
For tomorrow.
for tomorrow. Yes, I gave this last week already.
Ah, so it didn't last week. You gave us 2.
No, 2 weeks ago. Yes, something like that. So please complete this with the knowledge of what I've showed you now. Okay. And then what else is due? Can we just agree? What else is due tomorrow? There's something else.
Nothing, sir.
Can't be.
The test was due tomorrow. The one that we the
Trial test.
Yes.
Yeah, so trial test, we're looking at it tomorrow.
Yes.
As well as,
The worksheet is on the 24th.
that's on Friday, yes. So tomorrow,
Test.
can we just agree? Umalu, you with me now?
Yes.
Intervals plus trial test
Yes.
tomorrow. Please. Let's do that. Okay. Right, thank you. That's it for today.